Hey everyone, it's Dana. I am here today. This is actually the Summer Vibes Palooza Party Peeps, and this is the workshop made interactive. So I hope you're in the right place. I'm excited to create with you again. And let me just start with this is their Close to My Heart workshop for Summer Vibes. And I just wanted to give you a little bit about why the need to make it interactive. And in truth, if you look at them, right, you're gonna look at the photos and you have this workshop kit somewhere in your stash, right? We're gonna pull it out and work with it, but they are really cute. They start out cute, right? So there's not a real strong need to change it up a whole heck of a lot because they're good as is. The only thing sometimes when I look at these is that my brain kind of glances at the photos and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, I take way more photos than 16, right? Especially over a summer's time. This could literally be one trip to the lake. This could be, right, a week at the beach or up north, or just a tiny bit of vacation is way more than 16 photos in 3 layouts. So I look at these and go, these are already great. They're already pretty. Now let's just get more photos on them, right? Let's find a way to incorporate more photos. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been trying to just not completely change them because they don't need to be, but keep the basic design and just get more photos. So right now, as is, if you just did this workshop as is, you would end up with 16 photo spots. When we're done with it today in this class, you're going to have 47. Isn't that crazy, right? We're going to have 47 photo spots, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So let me think where I want to start. We're going to come back to this in just a minute. So pull your instructions out, and this would be the time. In the supply list, I gave you the cuts of paper. Most of this kit, you are going to actually prep as is. So I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to take project 1, project 2, project 3. You're going to get the bases out. You're going to punch everything out and make your piles just like you normally do. Okay, then you're going to cut the paper just as they say. And then if you go to my supply list, you'll see that there is black 4x6s, white 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, right? Some really super easy cutting that honestly, I'm not even sure that you'd need to get paper for. I'm sure you have it in your stash. I really am. I think it's only black and white, right? Photo mats. The rest of the paper I was able to cut out of the leftovers. So it really isn't a stretch. You're going to be able to do the punch out in maybe 10 minutes and the cutting in maybe 10 minutes, and then turn this video back on and we'll walk through putting some of it together, because in truth, again, I didn't want to rework all these. They're cute as a button. There's no need to. They're really cute. But we wanted to work in getting more photos on. So let me start by saying this. One of the reasons that I always buy the workshops from Close to My Heart, A, is because they're a little bit different than what we get in our traditional layouts, but B, I like using it up. So I wanted you to see, if you haven't already, I wanted you to get a gander at A, how many stickers are on this 12 by 12 page. It's a lot, right? There literally is a 10. If you can see that shine in the video, they are embossed again, you guys. They are embossed in the clear. They're absolutely striking. And what a fun addition for summer, right? Just that super bright, vibrant color. Now, I'm going to tell you, you saw on my supply list that I use liquid glass. I used it a lot because I love this look for a raised, glassy look. And as soon as I saw these sunglasses, I was like, oh yeah, I have to do those. I have to, right? It's just imperative. They have to look like glasses, and the way you do that is add liquid glass on them. So again, you are more than welcome to do this at the beginning or at the end, but the liquid glass is going to take about 45 minutes-ish to dry. So you can kind of do them at the end and set them aside, let them sit for a couple hours or overnight to dry, and then come back and put them all back on your layouts. But I think you're going to like the look, and I know it's just a fun little addition. So, but if you don't care about doing any of that, they're already great. They really are already great because they are embossed. And I love that look. I love that little bit of shine in there for you. So look at how many. Brilliant, right? Tons, tons. Look at how many you end up with at the end of the class. That's all that's left. Look at all the words. Ah, they're gone, literally. So that's what I love about the workshops. I love that there's next to nothing left when you're done. Now, aren't these beautiful? I'm sure you have your pack out in front of you. I'm sure you've already seen these, but I just had to. I couldn't resist showing you the paper pack just in case you hadn't seen it yet. And what I love the most is you get instructions, so I can do it 6 months later, which sometimes I end up doing it that way. But I love that you use it, you consume it. You don't end up with a stash or a hoarded stash like some of you of extra stuff, right? So we're gonna start, we're not gonna actually do this in order. We're gonna start with the easiest one. We're gonna start with number 2, and that's the gingham paper, okay? So what you're gonna do, we're gonna go to Project 2, left page here. I'm gonna try to remember to bring it up to camera so you can see it, but you should have these instructions in front of you so that you can look at this page as well, okay? I'm gonna show you my version of page 2, the left side, and you'll see that it's not much different, okay? I'm gonna set it down so you can get a full camera view. It's not much different. I just didn't like, the photos looked lost a little bit on that gingham. I tried to shift it over a little bit so that the focus was more on the photos instead of the background. That's all I did, honest. But you'll notice the details. I always use foam tape on these 2-part dies, the little die cuts that they give us, the punch outs. I always put foam tape on those because it really does make a difference. It really does give it some dimension. Here's the liquid glass. You can see it a mile away. And I even did the center of this circle just because I could. Center the flower, forgive me. But other than that, the left page is identical. Same materials. I didn't change anything. Same. So you literally can do this according to the instructions, or you can look at my page and all I did was shift it to the left a little bit. Now I took these journaling strips. I tend to like doing journaling that's hidden rather than out on the page. So if I'm gonna journal, I will actually probably put it on one of the other pages that we have flip-flaps on, if that makes sense. I don't always like it out where everybody can see it. So I took these journaling strips and I put them at the top and the bottom of this, just tucked under. Again, just to lift it off the page just a little bit, and so that it pops a little more. Otherwise, they just tend to get a little bit lost. So, you know, the patterns are big, right? They're big, bold patterns, and I love that, but I want to make sure that my photos stay the focus. So that's all I did with this left page. Other than that, so you can follow the instructions, and then you can come back to this video, look at mine, and shift yours over if you want to. If not, you do it just the way they did. Now here is page 2. For page 2, this is, hang on, let me get to the right one. This is Project 2, the right page. They show it to you completed. And in truth, again, it's another really easy page, but this is what it looks like. This is where it stays the same. How's that? So you use the gingham as the base, which is fine. This is one big giant punch out, this big frame. Okay, so this is all die cut for you. You just punch it apart. It's not hard at all. You're gonna run glue on the corners, and I did the centers. The corners and the centers, okay? And then the 2 star squares, you're gonna put adhesive on the backs of that one and glue those together, okay? And then you're gonna put the whole frame down with these 2 corners in it. Does that make sense? Now, in order to do this page the way they did it, they did that with all of them, right? They did that with the S and the U and the M and the M and the E and the R. They did it with all of them. And then with the photo spots, those were just left blank. They don't show that because they've got photos in them, but that's what they are, okay? What I wanted to do was add more photos. So here's what I did. One on your supply list is 4 by 4 inch white squares, right? One is for the U, One is for the M. Can you see the sunglasses? I had to liquid glass the sunglasses, right? That one goes over here. And I'm going to make sure I get those down to the left. And then we have, oh, this is the E, right? With the flip-flops. He goes on the bottom. And then I think this one's my favorite because of the cute little camera. This is the second M. Isn't that flipping cute? So, so fun. Okay, so he goes over here. So what I did, instead of mounting those squares underneath, I mounted them on top of 4-inch whites. Okay, and that will give you the flip-flops you need. And then you can put a photo here and a photo here. That adds 2 photos plus the 3 photo spots that they planned. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead. Let me find my page protectors here. I've got them a little buried, but they're here. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put these all together, of course, because I'm not going to put them in my book right away, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in the page protector so you can see how to put the flip-flops on. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to put it in our page. I'm sure most of you know how to do this, but just in case. Now, one more thing. The only other change I made, and again, this is in your list, is that here's our 4x4 white. The patterned squares that they have you cut, okay? The blue and the gingham and the stripes start out as 3 3/4. I made them 3 1/2. And that's only, ready? That's only to match inside the frame, because when I put them up, at first I did 3 3/4 and I just set them, set them on top to see what it looks like. I just set them there and I went, oh, it caught my eye that the pattern was a little tiny bit bigger than this one. And because they're right next to each other, the frame, the paper actually underneath this would be hidden by the white frame. Okay, but because we did a flip-flop, I thought, you know what, I can easily cut them, and so can you. So you're going to trim those 4 little pieces to 3 1/2. 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 instead of 3 3/4, 3 3/4. But right, super easy change. Cut it as is and then come back and just trim them. Just trim them. Right, super easy. Now, what I'm going to do, this one's a super easy one. Okay, I'm going to make sure it's pushed down all the way. Then I'm going to pull off the adhesive. There's always static. They always stick to me. The opening, the fold always goes over the opening. Okay, and forgive me if my head gets in the way, but it's hard to see, right? Camera-wise. There's a little bit of a, right? So now we've got our first one. Now, let me make sure. I think I've got these in the wrong order. You can decide how you want these to flip. In all honesty, you can figure it out. You can make them go all to the left if you want to. You really can. You can decide how you want them to. Sorry, I just want to be able to see the frame. How you want them to flip. It's really, I think I've got that a little bit. I'm trying to watch there's just a little bit of a glare once you get the camera on and the, right? I think that's good. Okay. Now I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave that E for last. I'm going to make sure it's seated so I can see this edge. But you decide how you want them to go, because in truth, it's your album and you get to do it how you want. But they really are so cool. There's our M. Now, this last one, I debated on this one. Do I want it to open at the bottom? And I think I do. I think I do. But truthfully, if you don't want it to open at the bottom, I thought there aren't going to be too many times when my album is upright and maybe it flops a little, but I think I'm okay with that. But if you want it to be different, by all means, this is yours, right? You get to decide. So here's my last one. So now let's look from the top. Right? So here we go. Ready? Up, out, they all open out. How fun is that? right? But just in that 4 little additions, moving from underneath to top, we added 8 photos, right? Whoop, whoop. Okay, so that is our first project. Our first project complete. Now, again, if you want to add more sparkle and shine, the Cool Mint stickles, anything like that, or more liquid glass. I also used gold shimmer brush on anything that's yellow. Not the big yellow, but on all these little yellow ones, I used it. And then, of course, on anything not yellow, I use the clear. So don't be afraid to add those little additions of shine as well. I like doing stuff like that. So, but you customize it for you, right? So here's our project number 2 all set. And now, let me get my little pieces of flip flap. Let's move on to project number 3. This is the one that has the wave base. Let me move them over just a little bit. Okay, so here is this time, our right page. Oh, hang on. There it is. Our right page is exactly the same. The only thing that might be a little bit different is just how I arrange the pieces. And again, that's up to you. You arrange them how you like them, right? If you want them tucked, then tuck them. So I took little things like the sweet summertime memories, and I tucked him over here under his legs, right? Instead of having them over here. They just kind of felt like they were floating over here. So I like them tucked behind something. And look at, isn't the flamingo amazing with liquid glass on it? I did that there, and then I did it again with the glasses so you can see it. So project 3 right page is identical. I mean, very, very close to identical. Minor changes, but again, you're going to do that too. You're going to make it work for you. Okay, so make project 3 right page as is. Now, when we come to, hang on, project 2 right page, what we're going to do, so here's our right page, our left page, forgive me. Our left page, project 3, this is all going to stay the same, and then all we're going to do is change from 2 photos to 10 spots, 5 and 5, okay? We're just going to replace that a little bit, but this whole left side, so what I would suggest is that you literally can build the pages as is. Go ahead and put them together. Do the whites. You can do this whole thing in its entirety. Build the right side. And then on this left one, build this side first, because then that'll show you how much room you have to make the cascade. Okay? So let's take our flip flaps over here. We've got our pieces. Summer vibes. So I'll show you what I have glued down, right, is this. This is how far you can build it. Build the left side, kind of get that set, and then you know how much room you have in the middle. And then we're gonna take here. We're gonna fancy up this one. Now, when you want to put a photo in there, what I do is just put a little piece of foam tape on either end, and then I don't have to worry about being able to get that photo in later. So I just use the foam tape and my nonstick scissors, and right just on the ends. Super, super easy. You can use lots of things, honestly. You can use glue dots, you can use whatever you want, but I like the foam tape. It kind of is just super easy to use, right? And then I can easily tuck a photo in there when we get that far. And then I've got my Take It Easy, and I've got, again, I put foam tape on everything. I go through a lot, but I like the dimension that it has without the bulk. I like that, right? Now, again, if you're going to put your photo, you can wait to put that on. Nothing hard, right? Super easy. We just fancied up the top one, if you will. We're going to do the same thing with the top one on this cascade. We're going to take the, right, same idea. We're going to do some foam tape on the ends, and then, right, it's hard to see it on the white on white. Okay, now we've got our little hearts. Again, this is just a zip strip. You have lots of it left over, so don't worry about it. I think they had, find my instructions. They had one little 4-inch piece of it. Here's the 4-inch piece, and then I just cut a 6 from what was left over. So you've got plenty. You don't have to worry about where to find it or any of that. I just pulled from the leftovers, honestly. So that little sticker says enjoy. And then these hearts, let me show you. Let me see if I can bring them on camera. These hearts, look, you have tons and tons. This all comes from that page we haven't seen yet. That comes from that heart die cut page, and you have a ton of these. I just saved them, right? I save all that stuff, and then I tucked them. You'll see that I tucked them in different places on the pages, right? So just save them and use them how you want to use them, because they're there, right? You might as well. Okay, so now the other piece we want to figure out is this flower. We've got this one, and all I'm going to do, I know it can't go off the page, so I'm just going to, again, this is the thicker foam tape. So far we've just used the thin. And I'm going to kind of just get kind of an even on top and on bottom. And I'm going to put this kind of square to the side, I think. There we go. So now I know my cascade can go right up to the front of that. Right? And this one actually is a bigger one. It can go all the way to the edge. Good. Now, this are pretty summer vibes. Again, you can, I foam taped it. I always foam tape my titles. I want them to stand out a little more without the bulk. I think they add a lot to your pages, even if you just do what I did, which is just foam tape it up. I just use the thin foam tape. You can make it even taller and use the regular. But I really just want it to have some dimension. So I did that again with all of this whole left side die cuts. They just tend to look a little flat. So all I try and do is just enhance it a little bit, because it's cute. I just want it even a little better, right? I just want it to have a little bit more dimension. And I don't often pop my photos up, so I tend to use the elements on the page and pop those up instead. Oh, they're sticking to me. Okay, we are almost there. They are sticking to my fingers. I think I like these because you can see what's, make sure I got them all right. Okay, now we've got our summer vibes, and he is just gonna go wherever, really, truthfully, wherever you want him to go. He can go wherever you're, I'm going to put him down here at the bottom, right at the very bottom of the page. Okay. And then we've got this one, and I think I'll wait until we get the cascade on, and then he's going to go, actually I can put him up there. He's going to go up in this left-hand corner. Again, it's up to you where to put some of the elements. You can, I tend to like things, I like tags like that, either off the top or anchored somehow. So I like that it's anchored in a straight line and it mimics this line here across the top. Okay, so now basically we have our page built. This ready? This is it. We're there. All the pieces that I think I got them all are stuck down that are going to be stuck down, and we want to take the rest of them, because this is what I had you add, were the 4x6, right? The 4x6 in black and the 3x4s, 4 of them. right? And then one of them was already here. One of each of these was already here. So what we're going to do then is stick them in their flip-flaps, right? And this is going to add 2 photos for every one flip-flap, which is brilliant. So much more. So many more photos. And I need all the photo help I can get. I don't know about you guys, but the good, bad, and the ugly, I take all the photos and then, you know, I can't get rid of them. I feel like it's part of my history. Like I can't, right? Seriously, I can't get rid of it. Heck, I took the photos. Okay, so this is the one that came with. It says the place photo. You can stick it in the mix wherever it's going to be is fine. And then here is our top one, right? And then this one's just going to go on the top of the pile. I try to just make sure they're all shoved all the way in so that I stick them on in the page protectors in the right spot. Now you can see how easy. I can't wait to see what you guys do with it, because you always get super creative, right? You do even more fun things than I do, which is neat to see. I enjoy that. Okay, here's number 4, and our top one. I think I'm doing them. They're going to go this way, so yes, the right way. Okay, this one's going to go on the bottom. Okay, so now I've got my piles of flip-flaps. I've got everything, nothing's falling off. I think we're good to go. Let's get our page protector. Now, this goes inward because this is the left page. I don't know how many times I put these together backwards. Okay, so now we've got our, right? Here's our other page. And now we're just going to build. I tend to make things look toward me. It's just a little bit easier to see, right? And we're going to start, pull it over. It's going to fold over the top just like we did a few minutes ago. And all I'm going to do is I'm just trying to make sure that this is parallel to the end and it's straight. I don't want it crooked, right? Or they're going to go off crooked. So I just want to make sure that it is, I'm going to pull this as close to me as I can. And, right, I think that looks pretty straight. There we go. There's number 1, right? How fun. Now, let me just make sure I'm doing it right. I think this one needs to go, flip it up. And here's number 2. And I think these were pretty close together, if I remember right. Number 3. Let's see how they are so far. Good. Number 3. Number 4. Right? And then our last one. Oh, did I do it wrong? I did. I'll have to switch those, but that's okay. You get to see that I make mistakes just like you guys, just like you all the time, right? Here's our last one. And I've got him on there, but look what I did. I put him backwards. So let me flip him. Let me pull him out and then pull out our front one and just switch them. Right? Dun, da, da, da. I knew I was going to do something backwards, right? Only when you're on camera. And here is our first cascade. Isn't that cool? So actually I missed a photo because you absolutely can put a photo underneath. So let's get our next one. Now maybe I can do it correctly this time. It's the top one that goes down first. So then this one, let me pace it out a little bit. That last one is going to go right there. So I think this one's going to have to go over just a little bit further. Kind of maybe right here. We'll do it. 1. And then right, 2, And you can move these if you need to. You really can. They get not sticky pretty fast. You can't do it a bunch of times, but you can reposition them if you need to. It's not the end of the world if they, if you kind of get it stuck in the wrong spot. But look, I did pretty well. And this, you guys, is our project 3, right? And it's really cute. I love the addition of the black. I think it just makes that summer and those little glasses pop. So yay! Okay, I'm gonna put that page protector on this one, and then we are good. The nice part about the flip flops is you don't even have to use our page protectors. We love our page protectors, don't get me wrong. Get me started, I'll tell you 20 reasons why you love these, because they're so sturdy and they don't rip or tear ever. But you can use the flip flops with any page protectors, which just makes them brilliant. So this is our project 3. And now let's get back to the beginning. And we've got project 1 with the big heart, and then our little hearts on the other page. So let me turn to that one. Okay. Now our left page is right here. Again, just like some of the other projects, I want you to do this one as is. It's cute, it's easy. This is such a cool idea. Right? Wasn't it? That all the punch outs and then you put those little hearts behind. Super, super easy. The only thing that I changed is that instead of having the summer across the bottom, I made it come down the side. I really like that it was on the white instead of on the blue, because it just shows up so much nicer. And then the other little minor change I did was I added liquid glass to the sunglasses. I think I didn't glue this. I didn't take the foam tape off, so that's why they're not sticking. It's the little details. But here, you can see them now. I added liquid glass to the sunglasses because I love them. And then I also added some liquid glass dots onto the sun. You don't have to do that. Honestly, it looks cute with or without. And there's more of the little plastic pieces you'll see over here on the side. You can add as many or not of those as you wish. I chose to not put the plastic on here, again, because I kind of felt like it was floating. It was just kind of sticking out there. And I like the composition of this page. I really, really do. So I left it as is. But so for project 1, you're going to put the left page together as is. Okay? Now for the right page, here is our page number, the right side. I want to show you, you're going to put this page together exactly as it is. Again, we're not trying to overhaul this kit. We like it. It's cute. The only thing I did was that I cut my paper in half, 6 by 12, 6 by 12, before I glued anything down. Does that make sense? Because I wanted to make sure that I didn't cut a photo area. I just wanted it to be even. So I made sure I cut it first. So I glued my strip on, cut it in half, and then I glued my pieces down. But other than that, it is literally just like the photo. So don't be afraid to follow the instructions that are there. Just cut your paper in half first so that you can have a left side and a right side. Again, the liquid glass on the sunglasses is killer. And the popsicle. Seriously. I was tempted to do the watermelon, but I didn't. I didn't want to, do too much, go too far, all that stuff. But okay, so the left side, hang in there, right? Here comes the rest of the pieces. Now, sorry, I'm just cleaning off a little spot here to set my papers down. Now, this... Sorry, I gotta move my papers to get them out of the way so I can show you. You're gonna take one sheet of Glacier, okay? Light side or dark side's up to you. I'm gonna use the light side. And then now you've got these 2 pieces and they're decorated. We're gonna take the left side and we're gonna glue it to the Glacier. Okay. Again, it's easier to do it just like I'm showing you than it is to kind of glue it and cut it. I get easily confused. So I'm pretty spatially challenged. So it's so much easier for me to do it in kind of chunks like that, if you will. So, okay. So now we've got a new base for our white page. Now this is going to go, now you can see the beginning of where that flip-flop's going to be, because now it's cut. Now we're going to open it up. Okay? Making sense now a little bit. So what we're going to do for this white side, in the instructions, I had you cut, I believe this is four and a half inch piece of leftover striped paper. I'm gonna actually move this just for a minute. I'm gonna move this over here and kind of just get out of the way. We're just gonna decorate the back side. We're gonna use the same side of paper, okay? We don't have to, you really could use either side too. You can use this or the stripe. I kind of like the stripe, ties it together, but you certainly don't have to. So we're gonna glue that one down. Again, at this point, you're decorating. So you do it how you want to do it, right? You do it how you want. I'm just going to leave a little bit of white showing because I like that, right? Okay, super easy. You can go to the edge if you want to. It really is up to you. I've got 2 white mats. These are just 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, they were on your supply list. I'm going to glue those. Oh, I keep burying my adhesive. There we go. Oh, it feels like it's empty. Okay. I'm going to, I'm just kind of centering. It doesn't have to be exact. Again, your photos are going to make this look completely different. So I don't like this. Good. Ready? Okay. Now on your sticker sheet, guess what? These are left over. This is the bubble strip way down at the bottom. And if you look closely, you'll see that I took that liquid glass and I went every other one. Bloop, 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 bloop. And I just, let me see if I can get it to show a little bit in the camera. I hope you can see that. But I just, again, put the liquid glass on, let it dry, and then I put foam tape on the back. Okay, little foam tape. Love my foam tape. This is the thin, again, just to give it some height, just to give it some depth on this page. And because there's not a whole lot of decoration, I kind of want it to stand out. So then I'm going to go horizontal for me because it's easier for me to see it. Let me make sure you can see it. Ah! Always, stop it. Okay, let me make sure. Oh my gosh, I did it twice. Okay, that's better. Done. Okay. Now we've just got some leftover pieces. So I've got the sunshine, the little orange with liquid glass on it, a green, and a heart, right? We had all those hearts left over. So I'm just gonna, let me see which one has adhesive on it. Love this duck adhesive. It's very, very similar to our Close to My Heart adhesive, honestly. Oh, I wonder if I want a little, oh, I think we're okay. I think we are okay. I do know I want foam tape on, got my scissors hidden under there. Some foam tape on the orange. Now, they do get kind of bendy, so what I do is add a little bit more foam tape, and that'll just make them lay a little bit flatter. Isn't he pretty? I just love him. Okay, now we're gonna take our papers. Oh, I still have paper sticking to me. And then we've got some, let's see, on the back of our sticker. Now, you know, I take these and I stick them all over me. and that gets the sticky off the back. You can also use our, you know, de-stick bag. It's for embossing, but static bag, but it works great for stickers too. Whatever you want. I'm just a lazy crafter. I kind of just stick them all over me, and that works fine. That works just fine. But honestly, if you go to any of the corporate ones, they'll tell you to use the static bag. Okay, so our heart is going to go. I like to tuck him under. I like him tucked. So then we've got our sunshine, and I will bring it up to camera, I promise. I know it's a little more challenging to see. Isn't that sweet? Just a little cluster in the middle of this flip-flop. Remember, this is just the back side, right? Just the back side. So now, here we go. So far, here's what we have so far. Ready? We've got the front, and now we've decorated the back, but we still have this side to decorate. Now, remember I said I cut, what is this, a 4.5, I believe? This is what's left over. Truly what's left over. And all I'm going to do is, Now, if you want to save this, I'll show you what it's going to look like. If you want to save a good portion of this piece, all I would do is maybe cut a 1/2 inch off this side and put it right along this edge, because that's most of what shows anyway. You don't have to use the whole piece if you don't want to. You literally can just put a little strip right here, and that would be fine. It really would be fine. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, again, 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 photo mats. You don't even have to cut these if you don't want to. You really can just use your photos, right? It really isn't necessary unless you really want them in there, and it's up to you. But I like the look of them. It kind of, sometimes my photos are busy. I don't know if you guys have that issue, but I do. Let me take that little happy off. And then they don't show up quite as well on the pattern paper. So I'll often just keep those white photo mats and put my photos right on top. And that way they pop just a little bit more. I'm really big on having the photos be the star, you know, the hero of the page, if you will. Okay, we've got one more. Let me make sure I get them straight on there. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. This is what it's going to look like. Right? It's sticking, sorry. Now, I've just got, again, a little more of those hearts. A little more of the hearts. And then I've got, again, once you get them stuck down, you could add more. Sorry, I'm running out of foam tape. Imagine that, me running out of foam tape. You could add more stickles. You could add more liquid glass. You could add shimmer brush, whatever you want to complement, just to add more shine if you want to. It really is up to you. Some of you guys are like really shiny, and some of you are a little less shiny. And it's all just personal preference of what you want, right? There's no right or wrong. I have these leftover hearts and I could not use them. That's just me. And then this one says happy. And I like these little, the little word stickers, again, just because it's kind of like a little flag, right, on the photo. Now I'm sticking them down. You wouldn't stick them down until you have your photo in. Okay, ta-da. Ready? And I'm going to put the flip up in, but look how many more photos that just added. And you could add again, even more. You could do a flip flap, a flip flap, a flip flap, flip flap, flip flap. You could add even more on top of this. But isn't that fun? And all we did, truly, was split that page in 2 pieces. Let me find my, okay, here's my flip flap. We're gonna, something in there is sticking. I think I've got a little edge of a sticker. Okay, we're going to put it in our 6 by 12 flip flap. See if I can get it in there without having to trim it. Oh, nope, I can see. Oh, no, that's not it. I was seeing the edge of the flip flaps, and I'm like, oh, it's not going to fit, but it will. And then let me get these. Here we go. In our page. Let me get my page protectors on there. Because you want to remember, you don't want to stick it on the paper page. You want to stick it on the page protector. That's the beauty. Remember all those years ago when we used to cut our pages and make them interactive the hard way, right? Nobody wants to do that anymore. Oh wait, ooh, thank goodness I looked at this. I think the heart's on the other side, right? This is the right page. So I want to make sure the flip-flop's going the right way, or the page protector's going the right way. Okay, let's get the heart. It's such a cute page. They really are such cute, cute layouts. So here is our left page. Sorry, I've got little pieces everywhere. Here's our left page and our right page, right? And then we've got our flip flap. Remember, it folds over the opening always over the opening. So let me move this out of the way. In order to get it straight, I'm gonna turn it horizontally to me. And then I'm gonna pull it tight. And all I'm lining it up with is the bottom edge, this bottom edge down here. That's where my eye is looking rather than over here, okay? So I'm gonna fold it over, line it up just on the edges, just to make sure, again, it's not going crooked, because then I gotta peel it up and fix it. Ready? Dun, da, da, da. Oh, I think that is, hang on, let me see if I've got that. There we go. Okay. Here is our, this is project 1, right? Dun, da, 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 with its interactive side. And then we've got, I believe this one is, I hope I'm right, project 2. Right, let me get this underneath so I can, here's our cascades. Whoop. Fun, have our cascades. And then we've got the red gingham is so bright and cheery, isn't it? And we've got all the flip flaps on this page too, right? I love it. I hope you had a great time. If you have any questions, you may feel free to drop them below. And have a good weekend. Bye, guys.